Hello, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Owl's Air Guns. Boy, I have been working hard behind the scenes here on our 3622 PCP rifle to pistol conversion. The last substantial progress we have made had been taking the package down to a size of, it has a air tube and a 21.5-inch barrel, which basically we could convert into something very similar to this in size. This is my custom pumper. That's a 1377 that is wearing some custom barrel, a sound moderator from AGM, and a buck rails, poor man's folding stock, which I like very much. Anyway, we can turn a 3622 into a package like this size pretty easily. My intention and desire had been to turn it into something much shorter. And that's where I have struggled. I met with a number of machine shops in my area and finally met with one that was the be-all, end-all, and came to understand that nobody in my area could do it for me for the following reason. This is the main tube from the 3622. Here's the back of it. This is where your hammer, your rear, all the pieces come together. Trigger group mounts. Let me turn that off. So as I was saying, on the rear of the tube, this is where the rear end cap and the adjustable hammer spring mount. This is the hammer slide where the hammer pin goes. So this is the business end in terms of mounting all the hardware, including the valve and the fire control components. I had believed it would be simplest to simply cut this tube at the front because the tube's hollow, and really the only machining that would be required in my mind, and I found out there was a problem in reality. Right here there's threading that allows it to take this end piece with the Foster fitting that lets us put air into this air tube. I had believed I could get the tube cut by a machine shop, rethreaded to accept this piece again. After exhausting my alternatives in the local area, what all of them expressed to me, including the one that had all of the stuff, is that the diameter of this tube is too small for most of the head pieces for their lathes that actually do the threading. So the diameter of this tube is a big problem in terms of having to want it threaded. And to do it properly for this kind of thing, you need to do it on a lathe. So the long and the short of it is, no one's tooling was going to allow them to get in there and cut the threads that they needed to cut. Now, part of why I've been looking around locally is I hate to ship things back and forth across the country just to be cut. And when I'd originally called the custom airgun guy that I work with that does my machine work for me, he had been in the process of moving, did not have his shop set up, and was going to be a while before he was both up and running and caught up on his other work that he could take a new project. So that's part of why I tried to source that locally to keep the project online. Well, I'm happy to say I just got off the phone with him. And while he concurs, he said even when he was building custom PCP pistols on the Marauder size tubes or anything like that, or even some of the bigger ones that he had built, anytime he needed threading, even on the larger diameter stuff, he had to ship it out of state, and some guy was doing it that worked at a factory that had an opportunity on lunch hour after hours to do the work. He said eventually, because of that, and then having lost contact to that guy, he just got in the habit of working the other end of the tube. As it had happened during his transition, he mistakenly ordered 2 of these 3622 tubes. So he's got 2 that he was looking at while he was talking to me. So he proposed this to me. How about we just go ahead and cut the tube from the back end That way we don't have to rethread it, and he will machine all of these pieces and fit it for me so that it gives us the custom pistol we're looking at. And the good news is, if that works like we think it will, and that's something that we're interested in, he's set up to go ahead and do that on a couple of the extra tubes that he ordered by mistake. And so if you're interested in those and this project comes to a successful conclusion, we may have a couple more tubes available too. So the good news is, and that's part of how he ordered them by mistake, he said the tubes are really cheap. And so yeah, I think that project is back on track. I thought this was going to be a depressing video where I told you we were stuck with the carbon-sized 3622, but that's the latest update. Things have to be shipped back and forth across the country, and yeah, that won't all happen overnight. But I do think we will see our 3622 PCP custom pistol. So, thanks a lot for listening. I'll see you on the next one.